Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Emma. Did we nail that handshake?
Crushed it.
So amazing. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Vanass.
And I'm Emma Bloomquist, and we are the marketing coordinators for Power Storage and Engineering, and it's been an honor to be the marketing leads for this incredible event. Oh, that being said, I wouldn't be doing my job if I did not take a group photo, so if everybody could smile.
Yes. Smile.
On your power. I have absolutely no idea what that looks like. I'm sorry.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. We all hope you enjoyed your lunch and had some really great conversations around the discussion questions. We wanted to start the second half of the day with a culture moment. Prior to the event, we asked women in the room to share wisdom you've gained over the years. We invited you to finish the sentence, "If I had known then what I know now," and here are some of your answers.
I would have told myself that I'm smarter than I think. I never thought I would be where I am today, and it's because I keep pushing myself and show up every day with a positive mindset.
I would have told myself, be present in the current moment, and don't be in such a hurry to get to the next. Enjoy the journey with all its steps and stops.
I would have gotten into the construction industry much sooner.
I would have given myself grace and wouldn't have sweated the small stuff.
I would have been louder about my successes along the way to be my own advocate.
Excellent. I would have told myself that trying to be something you're not to please someone else or your internal expectations will only cause lasting impacts on you. Be true to yourself, and the rest will follow.
I would have confidence in the value I provide in any room and not let the imposter syndrome get the best of me.
I would have told myself to speak up for those who can't, even when you are terrified. Women who support each other will stride further, grow stronger, and succeed more because of it. Yeah.
I would be more confident in taking chances and stepping out of my comfort zone to achieve what's best for me.
I would have told myself that showing up as a woman is never a disadvantage, and you do not have to be less female to be taken seriously. Always be your authentic self. Good one.
I would have known that my opinion is valued and matters, and I would have spoken up a lot more.
I would have asked for everything. I would have advocated for myself without fear of being considered too assertive or even bossy. I would have had the confidence to ask for what I deserve. More so, I would have known I deserved it.
It is so that one's my favorite one too, so. It is so empowering to hear the different experiences and input from the women in this room. And with that being said, and before we introduce our next incredible speaker, I wanted to share my own experience. A year ago today, I was nervous, anxious to start my new role at a large construction company with little to no idea what to expect. If I had known then that today, just a week shy of my first anniversary, I would be standing up here, speaking in front of a room full of some of the most inspirational women and men that I have had the pleasure of meeting, I would have told myself, you're still going to be nervous. But for a completely different reason this time. I would have told myself to take a deep breath, that you are about to start on the most awe-inspiring and educational journey of your career. And on this journey, you're going to find your voice. It might take you a little while, but you will find it. And I can't thank Mortenson or my team in Power, Storage, and Engineering enough for not only creating that space for me, but for showing me that I should have always been confident enough to share my voice in the first place.
So amazing. Thank you so much, Emma, for sharing your journey with us. We are so lucky and better people to be able to hear your voice, so thank you. With that, we would like to introduce our final speaker, Dr. Katie Ervin. Dr. Ervin was recommended by a member of our Empowering Women group who heard her speak at a leadership seminar. Some of you may have already heard her in the Power of Allyship breakout session, but we are so excited for everyone to get a chance to listen to her today.
Dr. Ervin is the founder and CEO of Catalyst Development, a leadership development company that builds strong teams and organizations nationwide. Throughout her career, she has established a reputation as a transformational leader who believes that her work is all about the people. Dr. Ervin focuses on creating cultures with low turnover, less burnout, better employee satisfaction, and higher profits. She knows how to get the right people in the right seats and doing the right jobs.
Dr. Ervin has a unique portfolio of academic, government, corporate, and nonprofit experience. She has taught human resources and organizational development courses for the past 18 years. Her writing has been featured as a member of the Forbes Human Resources Council, Brains Magazine, and Authority Magazine, as well as multiple podcast appearances.
Dr. Ervin's area of research is workplace motivation based on self-determination theory. Her first book, Sarah,
Yeah.
can I say asshole in front of all these people?
Yes.
Her first book, You Might Be an Asshole, But It Might Not Be Your Fault, is set to be published in spring of 2023. Please join us in welcoming Katie Ervin.
I'm trying to walk really slow so you can hear the song. One of the parts of the song that I love is whether you're in high heel shoes or dirty boots. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's perfect for this. And what's even more perfect is that song is by the third part of my amazing team. I am a proud owner of a woman-run business. Thanks. Thank you. It has been my dream to run my own leadership firm. And for years, I was doing it for someone else. And I was wearing their colors. And about a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not wearing your colors anymore. I'm wearing my own colors. So it's green. We love green. But so Emma can't be with us today. She's the third piece of our team, and she is a literal rock star. So that is her song, and it's called Walk, and it talks about, can I say ass? Talks about being a badass. And, you know, no matter what obstacles come in our way, no matter the pieces in our life, like that's who we are. So it was so appropriate, and I'm glad to share that song with you all, just a little snippet of it. The other prong of my team is Jenna Scott, and she's here with me today. And I am so proud to be a woman-owned business. And I'm even more proud to know that 3 women are doing some really amazing things. We're really proud to not be why. We're not a why company. Why should you be leader? We all know why. We've read the books. We've done that. We are a how company. Let's stop talking about why you should be a leader. Let's talk about how you be a leader, how you show up, how you do the work. And so that's a little bit about what I'm going to talk about today. I should also say the name of my company, Catalyst Development. When we were sitting around having a family meeting, my family, I'm going to show you here in a second, they're amazing. I have a almost 21-year-old son, 19-year-old daughter. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what a badass she is. And I have a phenomenal husband that tells people all the time that he is lucky to be my husband, or he's lucky to have me as his wife. And when I told him, you know what, I'm going to leave the comfort of my cushy job and being the breadwinner of the family, and I'm going to go out and start my own company. And by the way, I'm going to write a book. I had a whole PowerPoint ready to tell them, like, here's how we're going to be okay. And every one of them's like, okay, what's the logo? What's your colors? How are we going to do it? And so we had a 3-hour family dinner and started Catalyst Development. But we kept talking about the name, and my son said, what's the name of your workplace model from your research? well, it's a Catalyst workplace model. And he's like, that's the name, be the catalyst, be the change. Mom, go out and be the change in the leadership conversation. And so that's the night that Catalyst was born, and I'm really proud to have my family a part of it. So a little bit about my background. But what I really want to talk about today is your path to leadership. Everyone's path is different, and so what has worked for me is not going to exactly work for you, and that's okay. The situations I've been in and how I handle that is going to be different than how you should and could handle it, and that's okay. Our path to leadership is messy. We're not going to always make the right choices. We're not going to say or do the right thing. How many times do you think I've been fired in my career? None. I've been fired 3 times. 3 times. The first time I thought, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible human being. How am I going to pick myself up and dust myself off and keep going? And more importantly, how am I going to tell my brand new husband, you married someone that just got fired? And so I cried all the way home, because that's what I do. I cry. And then I got home, and I looked him in the eye and said, you know what? I got fired, and I got fired because I did the right thing. I knew someone was being mistreated. I was in human resources. I knew that the chief HR officer of this organization was breaking the rules and putting people in danger. And I had 2 choices as a 22-year-old fresh out of college. I could cash that paycheck and go in every day. Or I could look my people in the eye and tell them I have integrity and I'm not going to stand for it. And so that's what I did. They didn't even give me a pretty little box. They just told me to get my stuff and get out. And I did. And every year at Christmas, I send Mary a Christmas card. And sign it, Dr. Ervin. I'm sure she probably doesn't open it. She probably throws it away. I don't care. I won. I have integrity. I did what was right, and that was what was important. And it's scary on your path. The second time I was fired, I won't go into all the dirty details because they're dirty, but I was asked to lie. I was asked to lie to cover up what a male VP had done. And the president looked me in the eye and said, I don't want to do this, but I need you to let people know that Gary didn't do it. And I'm sitting in my office. Now I'm in a real dilemma because now I have 2 kids and a husband, and I'm officially the breadwinner. And I thought, oh. I said, well, but Gary, he did do it. He goes, yeah, Katie, that's not what I'm asking you to do. You just need to go out and you need to say he didn't do it. You're HR, people will trust you. So you're asking me to lie because people trust me as HR to protect Gary, who did the wrong thing. Yeah. Now, he did give me a really good box, like the one with handles and a lid. He did give me that box as he escorted me out the building. And then the last time I was fired, it was completely my fault. It was completely my fault. I had an ego. I thought, I have things to say and people should hear it. And I went in and I told people what I thought. And I did not handle it well. And I went home at night and I felt good because I told them what I thought of them. And the next morning I get into the office early and I log on to my computer. My login doesn't work. It did not work. So I had to call my husband and be like, I think I'm getting fired. At this point, he's like, okay. what are you going to do next? And I said, well, I don't know for sure, but my login's not working. And he goes, just start packing. Let's go. So I did. I packed my box and I moved on. And I tell you that not because I'm super proud of the mistakes I made, but I'm telling you that because I've grown from all my mistakes. I now am much more careful when I tell people what I think about them. We've been talking a lot about emotional intelligence over at our table. I've done a lot of work on my emotional intelligence to be able to spell my name backwards and forwards about 40 times so I can let my brain catch up with my tongue so I don't say something that I might regret. A lot of people can just say what they want and their brain is right there. Not me. I'm super passionate. I'm super emotional. I will say what I think, which is super awesome sometimes. Sometimes you got to think it through and then send the email. So that's my path to leadership. Everyone's path is different. How you get there, what you do, the mistakes you make, they're you. I loved the diamond analogy. We all have flaws. It's okay. It is okay to live in those flaws and not to be embarrassed by them. The more we talk about the mistakes we make, the more people understand that they can make mistakes too. And that's really important. Here's my super sweet family. They're so awesome. I just adore them. But it's been in the last year that I realized, how many of you say, I want it all? I want it all. Yeah, I used to too. I want it all. And then I realized, oh, shoot, having it all is a lot. It takes a lot. And to really have it all, you're going to be sacrificing. And so you're never really going to have it all. So I've changed my philosophy that you don't need it all, you just need enough. Figure out what it is you need. Figure out what works for you and go towards that. The other part of having it all is we mask ourselves in thinking we have to be perfect. My daughter, when she was in 3rd grade, I affectionately call her a big old nerd because she is. She's one of those that would take a science test and get a 97 on it, and she would do extra credit. Anyone else in the room? Perfectionist? Yeah, I know. It's okay. But we spent the year we dubbed it the year of Abby's failures. And I'm sure other moms are like, you're a horrible human being. I am. I have my kids, I tell them, just put it on a spreadsheet, give it to the therapist, it'll cut a year off of your therapy. Put it in tabs, like emotional, physical, all of that stuff. Just itemize it for them. It's gonna save you money in the end. I'll pay for the first 3 years, let's move on. But we had to teach her that you don't have to be perfect. And so anytime she brought home a piece of paper that had a C or a B or below, we hung it on the wall. First month, nothing there. So it was just a big poster that said, Abby's failures. And nothing was there. And so then I called her teacher and said, you got to stop letting her take makeup test. Unless she gets a C or below, she can't take it. She can't get extra credit. She was like, but everyone gets extra credit. I don't care. She's got to learn. So by the end of the year, we were putting paper on top of paper because she was realizing she didn't have to be perfect. She needed to be good. She was stressing herself out so much about being perfect, she was missing the good that was around her. And so we really had to break her of that. And now she's 19. I'm going to talk a little more about her in a minute, but she's 19 and she's down at University of Mobile. She's a woman in STEM. She's studying to be a marine scientist. She is playing women's golf, girls golf too, which I'm super proud of. But now when I talk to her and she says, I have a bio test and I have a chem test and I have this and I have that and blah, blah, blah. And I say, how did your chem test go? She said, I did really well. Good, what'd you get on it? Doesn't matter, I did really well, Mom. Like, how are you feeling? She goes, well, my best friend Cameron is having anxiety. She actually had to go to the cardiologist to get her heart checked because she is going to physical therapy school and she has so much pressure and stress on herself, she's literally killing herself. So we have to realize we don't need to be perfect. We just need to be good enough, and that's okay. Here's my sweet daughter. Can you tell I like her? She will tell people that my son's my favorite. I think we all know. So this is my badass daughter. She is 19. She's going to school at University of Mobile. When we were talking to coaches, she was being recruited to play golf. And we were sitting with all these coaches, and we were at one of the most prestigious marine science schools in the country. She had worked her tail off to get recruited by this coach, to get the interview with the coach. This is where she wanted to go to school. Even if it meant she was going to be in debt, student loans, this is where she wanted to be. Me too, because it was like summer camp. They literally had a beach on campus. But she's sitting with the coach, and she's in love. She's ready to sign up, submit my application. And he said, what's your major? She said, I'm a marine science major. Oh, well, you're probably only going to get to play golf for 2 years because your studies are going to be so intense, you're likely not going to be able to play the last 2 years of college. So I had a mom moment. What do I do? Do I accept it or not? So I leaned forward, and I thought, well, this guy's a jerk. There's no way she's going to play for him anyways. And I said, what do you tell the male golfers when they come in and tell you they're a science major? Do you tell them that they can only play golf for 2 years because their classes are going to be really hard for them? And he, no. I said, then why the hell would you say it to her? English is hard for her. Reading comprehension is a bear for her. Science is easy. Why would you say that to her? We wrapped up. He didn't give her an offer. We're super proud. But as we got in the car to walk away, to drive off, she said, well, maybe I could do 7th grade science. Are you serious? Are you seriously thinking about changing your future trajectory because some person who doesn't know you questioned your abilities? How often do we do that? How often do we not believe in ourselves because of a simple question that someone else said to us? And I love this quote. Jenna's boyfriend posted this on Instagram a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, he's awesome. You playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so others won't feel insecure around you. As you let your own light shine, you indirectly give permission to do the same. How many times as women do we fade into the background? Do we silence our voice? Do we not say something because we don't want to come off as pushy? Insert whatever phrase here. How often do we walk into a room and not sit at the table? We sit off to the side. Or if there's 2 seats, there's a seat on the side of the table or a seat at the head of the table. Where do we sit? Go sit at the head of the table. It's okay. We don't need to dull our light to make anyone else feel comfortable. And we do that way too often. We do that at work. We do that at home. We do that with our friends. And I love all the talk about celebrating women and cheering on other women, because it's really when we do that, when we elevate and support other women, we help everyone succeed. I love the phrase, rising tides lift all ships. Have you heard that? the more that we empower each other, the more that we bring each other up, the more that we support each other and scream each other's names and each other's successes, the more it's going to become normalized. We're going to feel better about it, and we're going to get there. I wanted my doctoral dissertation topic to be about the glass ceiling. My doc committee said no. But what I wanted it to be is about the barriers that we put in place for ourselves. And it's unintentional, but there's times that we put barriers on ourselves because we don't believe in our capabilities or who we are or what we can do. And we've got to stop doing that. And when that little voice in our head says, "What are you doing?" You need to tell it to shut up. Unless it's my voice and my brain's just trying to catch up with my tongue. But you need to not limit yourself because of that. And so we really need to pay attention to those voices. And as we're doing that and finding our voice and finding who we are and finding our confidence, we really need to do work on what we value, what's important to us, who we are. Because when we know that and understand our values and what we stand for, then we can protect them, we can live in them, we can proudly share them. But so often as women, and we talked just really quickly about this in the allyship panel, we work so hard to fit in that we forget to work on our belonging. So we change who we are. We change our values. Oh my gosh, you like Star Wars? I like Star Wars too. Just me? Okay. I literally, when I was trying to woo my husband, this is for those of you young in the room, back in the day, we had to go to the box office to buy Star Wars tickets. So I literally camped out to get my husband Star Wars tickets. And then I didn't even go and see episode 1 with him. But I just wanted him to think I was so cool. And he did, and we're all good. But I am cool. But we can't be someone we're not. We can't change our values. We can't be someone different and then expect people to respect and appreciate and support us. The night my husband told me he loved me for the first time, we were standing in downtown Indianapolis in front of Old Navy. Love Old Navy. And we're standing there, and he looks at me, and we'd had some beverages. And he said, "I need to tell you something." And you know when you can just feel it, and I'm like, wait a second. Before you say it, I need you to know a few things. I don't do laundry. I'm not going to take out the trash. I'm not going to compromise my career for you. I want kids, but I may not be the primary caregiver. Are you okay with that? And he said, okay. And I said, okay, say it. He was like, I love you. I love you too. And so now he's like, can you take out the trash? I'm like, 23 years ago, we had this conversation. So my daughter already has her list going. I'm like, oh, keep the list long. Keep the list short. Don't make it too long. But it's important. And it's important for us to share with people who we are, whether it's our partners, whether it's our friends, whether it's our coworkers. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. And this is how I'm going to move forward. And so good or bad, this is me. And so thank goodness he's stuck with me. And now my son's like, just take out the trash, lady. I'm like, nope. The other thing we've got to pay attention to, and especially as women, is what gives us energy and what drains us. You know, on the airplane when they say put your oxygen mask on first, and we're all not really paying attention because we're trying to get those last texts in or whatever, The reason they say that is because we can't put the oxygen mask on the person next to us if we're passed out. So we've got to pay attention to what's draining us and what's giving us energy, what's helping us get through. And so really, really leaning into those things. And when you think about work, when you think about your leadership journey, what do you do really well? We always talk about your leadership superpower, whether it is training we do, whether it is a podcast that we run, no matter what, we talk about everyone has a leadership superpower. No matter your title, no matter your influence, no matter your stage of your career, you have things that you're really, really good at. Do those. Don't shy away from them. The other thing is paying attention to what drains you. What are those things that you walk into a room beaming because you're so excited, and then it shuts off for you. It dims your bulb. What are those things? Is it social media? Is it people? Is it environment? What is it? And acknowledging that and being able to eliminate the drain as much as you can will change who you are. Jenna first talked about this a couple of years ago, and it's like, duh, of course. But then when you actually really eliminate those things that drain you in life, your perspective, how you behave, how you show up, drastically changes. So really pay attention to that. Take care of yourself. Find out what works. We have a joke at Catalyst that I'm the morning crew and my ladies are the night crew. I get up at 5 a.m. Many books out there tell you to do that. It's not for everyone. I asked the girls to get up at 5 a.m. They're like, do I have to? I'll be there because I love you, but I don't want to. Find what works for you and take care of yourself. I realized before I started Catalyst, I was literally killing myself. I was not taking care of myself. I was holding my stress and the stress of everybody else. I was making myself sick, literally. I gained 30 pounds. I wasn't sleeping. I was crying all the time. And my husband said, this is not you. Stop it. And so I had to be very vulnerable and go to Jenna and other people around me and say, I'm not healthy. I'm not good. I'm not okay. I got to figure out a way to take care of myself and be better. And now my husband today says, oh, I love this person. This person is great. Who you were a year and a half ago was painful. I wasn't a good mother, a good wife, a good friend. I wasn't showing up, but I didn't want to take the time away from everybody else to do the work on me. So even if it's 10 minutes a day, do work on you. Take care of yourself. I would encourage you to do at least an hour, but start small. If you don't have an hour, leave me alone. I'll do 10 minutes for you, fine. Do it and find what works for you. Everything is different. After Jenna has a hard day, she likes to go and squat like 450 pounds and then put it on Instagram. I'm like, really? I'm going for a walk. So find what works for you and do that and take care of yourself. I also used to say, fake it till you make it. I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase. Because that indicates that you're not being your authentic self. But I love this. Do it. Push yourself. Fail. Get up. Keep going. Fail again. Get back up. Don't quit. Where it's the voices that you're telling yourself or the voices that someone else are telling you. Don't do it. Please. Don't give up on yourself. Don't take a different career path because you had one bad day or someone asked one stupid question. Go all in. Prove them wrong. You know who you are, so don't let that stop you. So how do we do it? Okay, Katie, you stood up and you told us you're going to tell us how to do it. Here's what works for us. One is having an advisory group. Have people around you who will be very honest and kind. The book coming out, in case you missed the title, Don't Be an Asshole, but it might not be your fault. Or you might be an asshole. You might be an asshole. I don't even know the name of my own book. Don't look for that one. Look for this one. You might be an asshole, but it might not be your fault. And the reason why I wrote that book is so often we're so worried about not being nice that we are actually so unkind to people. We won't tell people the truth because we don't want to hurt their feelings. We're from Kansas City, so we call it Midwest nice. It has nothing to do with the Midwest. We have people all around the world that are like, oh my gosh, you look so pretty, you did so great. And then they walk out and you're like, oh, what an idiot. We've got to find people around us that will be honest and kind and will tell us, hey, I need you to come here. I don't know that you intended to be a jerk, but you're kind of a jerk. And that's what the whole premise of the book is about, is we promote people to positions and we give them no leadership training or limited leadership training. And then we're like, go, do, be successful. And then we're like, oh, why did they fail? Well, we didn't give them any training, any support. We didn't have kind conversations with them. We're talking about in the allyship panel, go out, make connections, ask for help, blah, blah, blah. Yes. But also, there are just jerks out there that want to stand in your way. There are people that don't want you to be successful, but it probably isn't intentional. They probably don't want to be an asshole. I guarantee you most people, no one's ever said to them like, do you know you're a jerk? You can say it much nicer than that. But we have to do that. We have to have those conversations with people. We have to be able to say to them, hey, I don't think you intended to come off like that. And so surround yourself with people that will do that. I have a really cool advisory group. My 2 ladies that work for me as my advisory group, and then I have a couple other good friends, and they will just tell me straight up to my face, like, was I harsh? Yeah. Okay, that hurt. I'll come back to it later. So find those people, and they don't have to be your people at work, but find them. We've heard this multiple times today. It was almost like we all did our presentations together. I promise we did not. But stand up for yourself. Find your voice, and don't be afraid of that voice, even if that voice is really quiet. Not everyone has to be obnoxiously loud like I am. Sorry about it. No, I'm not. Not sorry. I know. I'm an extrovert. I'm sure that was a secret for most of you guys. We have to find our voice and use it when it makes sense for us. We have introverts in the room that I'm sure want to sleep all weekend after this, or please don't make me talk to anyone else. I don't want to do it. I see you. I hear you quietly. I love you and I recognize and I appreciate you. Because you can be an introvert and have a really quiet but powerful voice. So don't be afraid of that. And don't be afraid of who you are. Have confidence, your body language. That picture of my daughter, that was her making a putt, and I could tell, when she gets over, how many golfers are in the room? Yes. Yeah. Women, girls golf too. Get on the golf course. It's super fun. Yes. I love it. And you get to drink beer while you're playing golf. You can't do that playing softball or baseball, right? Yeah, you can. Who am I kidding? Anyways, I can tell if my daughter is going to hit it far right by how she lines up over the ball. I can also tell the likelihood of her hitting it straight by how she stands up over the ball. I can see when she struts up there, I'm like, okay, it's very possibly probably going in the hole. But it's how we tell ourselves, what we tell ourselves. I go to the same coffee shop almost every day, and for my birthday, my daughter bought me a perfect green sweater. And so I walked in that day, I'm like, look at this sweater, yeah. The same woman that makes my coffee every day is like, oh, what wall are you gonna knock down today? I'm like, I got a new sweater. I'm simple. But I had confidence, I had swagger, I felt good. So sometimes we have to just walk in with confidence. When we have big meetings, when we have big conversations, we've done the work. We deserve to be there. Now you gotta just strut in there. I will tell you, other people too will notice your strut. And again, your strut doesn't have to be as obnoxious as mine. It can be a quiet strut. Mine is just like kick a wall down, move through, here we go. Doesn't work for everyone. And my kicking a wall down doesn't work for everyone either. Like there's people I walk in a room and they're like, oh, how long is she gonna talk? Not much longer, I just got the 10-minute warning, so. But it's important, what we tell ourselves, the voices, the confidence. We've got to get to a point where we're hearing those positive voices in our head, because that is probably one of the biggest distractors in our lives. Learn it until you earn it. Stop faking it till you make it. Learn it till you earn it. Keep doing. Don't shy away from a job. On the allyship panel, we talked about, there's times that people are going to tap us for a job and we're going to be like, oh, can I do this? Yes, you can. Imposter syndrome is real. Everybody has it, whether we want to talk about it or not. It is okay. Take the job, do the work, learn it, earn it. Did you know that when men see a job posting, and there's different numbers out there, kind of stats are fuzzy, kind of all over too. I've seen anywhere from if men meet 3 to 6 of the qualifications, they'll apply for the job. How many qualifications do women have to match to apply for the job? Oh my gosh, if you have all of them, that's not your job. You've learned it. You're right. Women will wait until they have all the qualifications. Well, then you need to be that person's boss. You can do that job. Take the next one. So don't shy away from hard things. Apply for the jobs. Take those stretch goals. Have those conversations. Ask for what you need. So often, we will tell ourselves, oh, well, they're going to say no. What if they say no? Hey, here's a hint. What if they say yes? But if we never ask them, they will never say yes. I can't get through a talk without talking about Patrick Lencioni. He's an author and I love him. Might have a restraining order, maybe not, probably should. It's a whole thing. But he wrote the book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, The Ideal Team Player. He is like my idol. He owns a leadership company in California. He's not who I want to be when I grow up, because I'm who I want to be when I grow up, but I do really love his work. And so when I finished the book and I'm sending the book out for first readers, and my literary coach is like, okay, make a list of all the people that will read your book and give you feedback. Guess who I put on my list? I had to put Patrick Lencioni. What if he says yes? What if he reads my book? What if he even just emails me back and says, love the title? What if he doesn't? It doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change the work that I've done, but it gives me a chance to get a yes. So let's not worry about what they're going to say. Ask the question. Tell them what you need. We talked about the allyship panel. It's really important. We just assume, well, they know. Someone said earlier, I'm not a mind reader. No. We can't know unless we have those conversations. And to the point where I don't think most people want to be a jerk. You're not going to know if they're really a jerk until you ask the question and they're like, no. Oh, okay, you're a jerk. Okay, good to know. So we got to pay attention to that. Ted Lasso fans? Yes. New episode coming soon. Yes. We have to believe, not just in ourselves, but in each other. We have to believe in each other's capabilities. We have to believe that we can. We've got to push. We've got to do. So I love everything about the show. There's so many. I know some universities have come up with kind of whole classes around Ted Lasso, and I'm all in for that. But it really is true. We've got to believe in ourselves. We got to believe in each other, and we got to really support who we are. So the so what of it all. That's lovely, Katie. Thanks for being here. The so what. You have superpowers. You have control. You have voice. You have values. It's figuring out what those are, how they show up, how you can be your authentic self. We were kicked off this morning by saying, Mortenson is a great company with lots of options. If you're not where you need to be, I'm not telling you to leave Mortenson, because Jenna and I would, if we didn't work for a dream company, we would totally come work for you all. We're just like, how can we help you in Kansas City? Do you need a field office? Let's go, come on. Let's do it. Let's go do leadership seminars together. But you don't have to leave where you are to get what you need. Ask for what you need. Share that. No one's gonna know. So if you go home every day and you're miserable and on Sundays you're like, I don't want to go to work. Maybe it's just me that cries. I'm a crier. But no one will know. You have to let people know. You have to have those conversations. So that's really important. Today has been phenomenal. Last night was super fun. I threw an axe. Super proud. Didn't stick anywhere, but did it. And next work is going to be so cool for you all. I mean, women in construction, yes, please. It's going to be great next week. You guys are going to do really cool things. You're going to be really excited. What are you going to do in June? How is this going to continue? How is the energy going to continue? I love these sessions because we all walk out of here, and whether you're an extrovert and you're like, yeah, let's do it, or an introvert where you're like, that was great. That was good. I loved it. I'm going to do some things. It happens. So we're going to send to Sarah and to the amazing crew that created this, we're going to send your leadership toolkit. It's your leadership and allyship toolkit. This is your so what. You have work to do. Who do you want to be? What are your superpowers? It is an optional assignment. It talks about allyship and how you show up for yourself and for others. It asks you to write your own leadership philosophy. If you're fresh out of college, or whether you've been doing this for 40 years, who are you? Who do you want to be, and how are you going to do it? So you're going to get that. I encourage you to not just do it, but to have conversations about it, to talk to each other. How do we keep this momentum going forward and take our power and just keep pushing it on? So I will tell you, I will end this the way I end every conversation. Maybe. You're not done with me until you want to be done with me. Some people I'm going to walk out and you're going to be like, thank God. Other people you're going to be like, I just want to know you. Connect. We're here to support you. We want you to be successful. So with that, thank you for being you. Thank you for all the amazing work you're doing. And go use your power.